Hello, WCW, and welcome to your Week 6 recap. With me again this week, Mr. True Blue. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, you know. It feels pretty good, man. I exceeded my own expectations. I beat Duberman. I controlled my destiny for the playoffs.
Yep. Sounds good. And when we get over to Capone, we'll talk about my match as well, which I am also in control of my own destiny, but I've got to win to get there. So I think you're in the same situation.
Yeah, I already played my game and I'm in.
Oh, There you go. All right. Well, let's start off with Weiss here. We've got the leaderboard up, and in control right now is Nillyman with the 4-2-0 undefeated season so far.
Natalie Portman too strong.
Followed by the only, I want everyone to remember the XCOM Death Squad here. Caloric came in on week 2, so his first loss was actually, I believe, an admin loss. So he's essentially 401 instead of 402 here. So also having a heck of a season. Then hot on their heels, we've got Callisti Maya at 321 and a Velociraptor at 312. Followed by She a Bad Witch at 303. Like, these are great records, and we're all the way down to 5th place, and we've got a 303. So these guys are really putting on a very strong season. Mateo, who had an interesting game that we'll talk about shortly, with the 1-2-3 record, and Doof having a rough start with Kimry, but I think that's how Kimry typically go, with the 1-1-4. And then down at the bottom, Mr. Yup himself, 105, has picked up a win with the ratless Underworld Denizens.
He's too good.
Yeah.
Yup is too good.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the Week 6 matches. First up, we had the XCOM Death Squad versus the Alphabetsors, who were down to a singular rat. Tell us, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I remember Yup saying that he is, I believe, like a 2+ away from winning or tying this game. So it was a really close game. I think all that stuntiness really just affected the XCOM Death Squad.
Yep. I took a couple of notes on it. One of the interesting things about this was they were 0-0 at the half, and he had a bribe, and he had Fez on the pitch, and the bribe failed, so Fez went off at the half anyways. So that was kind of funny to see. Good job by the XCOM Death Squad there, picking up the victory. Followed by Human Foosball and the Chaos Murder Party. This was a heck of a game. Essentially, it was 1-1 at the half. The humans ran it in fairly quickly, and then Chaos Murder Party was able to equalize, tie it up, and then down 5 men, the humans managed to pop the ball free, steal it, but they really couldn't protect it because they were down 5 men, and the Chaos Murder Party takes down the unprotected ball, runs it in for the 2-1 victory. So this was really a nail-biter of a game, despite the way the armor breaks and everything makes it look. But the Chaos Murder Party did exactly what's in their name.
They murdered Chaos Parties. Yes.
Yep.
All right. And then, now this was the one I think everybody was looking forward to. Behold the Kickman and Lords of Obey. Who cared about the game? We wanted to know if Tomb Guardians would level, if Kimry would level, and they did. John Smelly, MVP.
Absolutely.
I don't think...
That's what we've been waiting for all season. We now no longer have an unskilled Kimry team. We have a skill. And he took Mighty Blow, for the record, if you're curious.
Well, we're going to take a look at the team soon anyways, so I wasn't curious.
No, fair enough. Manages to get the touchdown as well, so picked up some more SPP, but not too bad of a game there. next up, we had a blowout of a game that I don't think any of us expected. The Celeb Rats ran it up 4-0 over Shia Badwich.
Yeah, so the thing that I was looking at is Shia Badwich and Mateo, the Human Foosball. They played their game late, so we didn't quite recap it. We did not see the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a couple of big injuries, including a niggle on their Agility 5 blodger.
Ouch.
So all of that happened, and then the Celeb Rats also had 2 blitzes. So
Yep, that definitely makes it tough to recover from. Whenever blitzes fire off for Rats, they tend to do sneaky, ratty things. But taking a look at the stats, 50 blocks for Shia Badwich, and not that many injuries and removals for 50 blocks. But, yeah, tough match. All right. Well, let's take a look at the teams. Yeah. So first up, behold the Kickman. We have skill.
One level.
There he is.
Singular level.
There he is. Everyone just marvel in amazement at the leveled up Tomb Guardian.
The amazing thing is that he's been playing SPP spread game so much is now that everybody's going to start to level.
Yeah, everyone's an MVP away from leveling except for Robert Bottom Slapper, which, what a name we've got there. But yeah, so we just need anywhere an MVP lands now, except for, I guess, the guy who's already leveled and this one skeleton. Anywhere else on the team is a level. So, gonna start seeing some more action from that Kimmery squad. Human Foosball, their catcher is out. Their Agi-Up catcher is missed next game. That's not something you want to be down for in your last game of the season.
It is not. I believe it actually took a perm, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's just him and Jeet.
Just missed next. Okay.
Yep.
I thought it took a perm. My bad.
No, it's still fine, and it's still going to be amazing. Just taking the next game off.
All right, look at his thrower real quick. So you have accurate strong arm and an agility 4 catcher. You have a pretty good offense now.
It's got an amazing passing game.
Yeah.
With accurate and strong arm, you can make, what is it, can you make a long pass on a 2+? Is that right?
I don't remember. Probably.
I think it's a long pass on a 2+, but I may be wrong there. But yeah,
it might be a 3+, but that's still insane.
A 3+ with pass is still, yeah, that's great. So you can really start moving the ball around the pitch quite a bit.
Yep, and his other ogre got guard now.
Yep.
Pretty much everything that you want on a human team, except so much dodge on his blitzers. You want a killer that's actually reliable.
Wow, all of the SPP on this guy is come off of injuries. Way to go. That ogre is just killing things.
Yeah. All right, now let's take a look at the People's Champ, Yup, and Alphabet Zors. Oh my gosh, not only did you have some levels, Yup has some levels that are making it into the next game as well.
Yep. We've got a Skaven Thrower with block and an Underworld Goblin with jump up. So, and we have enough money that we could actually see another rat get purchased. So we could be back to a 2-rat team soon.
2 rats, too easy for Scambammer. He's just going to go with the 1 rat. Might even drop him.
Yeah. 3 strength, just a little too strong.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at the Chaos Murder Party, who still looking strong. We've got block on 2 of the Chaos Warriors now. Yeah, strength up on a Beastman, so we're getting to the point of being pseudo Lizard team. Looking good.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good. You want to probably get a bench pretty soon. I'd probably get a 12th player before I'd get a 4th Chaos Warrior. Oh, he already
has the 4th Chaos Warrior, yep.
I was so used to him not having that. Okay, forget I said anything. Just get a 12th player.
Yep, and with 30K in the bank, he'll be able to pick up that next player after the next game for sure. So, yeah, looking good. good development on that Chaos team. They're a slow starting team, but that one's well on its way to getting where you want it to be. So, Lords of Obey, what are your standouts on this team?
The slow gutter runner.
The poor
Mr.
slow gutter
Brainwash.
runner. Do you fire that or do you keep it around?
You have enough money that you can fire it and replace right now, and I probably would.
Yep. I think I agree. Storm Vermin very close to leveling, hoping for the doubles to basically make him stat complete. But
Yep. And then the other one, you hope for a potential MVP, and you also get Mighty Blow. Just a couple of Mighty Blow pieces rolling on the Storm Vermin.
Yep. So, good looking start to those rats. Next up, the Celeb Rats, Nilly Man's squad, who is just going on a stormer.
I think they lost a player, but that's fine. You have so many good pieces.
Did this Roger have block before? Yeah, yes, it did.
Yeah, it's had block for forever.
Yep. I remember now, the block Juggernaut. Very good.
Oh my gosh. Gudacris. Every single time I just look at a different name. Gudacris.
Yep.
He's going to drop that new hot single. All right.
All right.
Let's see what
Gudacris
got.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, I fucking hate you, Grip. Oh my god.
Yeah, look at all the agility. What do you do with this team? We've got agility. The Blodge with agility is niggled, but you keep him anyways because agility 5 is amazing.
Yeah.
This team can do nonsense. Just absolute nonsense.
This is the most ridiculous level up starting I've ever seen for a team ever.
The only thing that would make it more ridiculous if one of those agilities was on a Witch Elf or a strength up on a Witch Elf would be pretty amazing.
Don't tempt Nuffle. He obviously loves this team. He wants to see it do bullshit.
Yep. I want to see one of these guys pick up Leap, and then everything's gravy.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun team to watch play.
Finally, we have Calaric's XCOM Death Squad. Take a peek at this bunch. We have a thrower who is...
M&G.
And what happened to that lineman? Did he take a movement bust, or was he already busted? Nope, took the movement bust. Which movement bust on a lineman is kind of fine, right? You can just let him be the line fodder.
I guess you can. I would almost be more okay with a loner compared to a movement busted guy.
Yeah, I can see that too. But either way.
But I think that's the one that you prefer out of all the bust.
Yeah, it's better than an agility bust. It's better than a strength bust. Like agility bust, strength bust are fired. Our AV bust fired. Niggling injury with no skill, you probably fire it. AV bust, you can keep it.
Yeah, but it looks like he's just getting lots of Blodge, and that's all you really need to be annoying.
Yep.
Blodge, get a wizard, you're done, you win.
Yep, that is pretty much that. So with that, do we want to take a look at the Week 7 matchups that we have coming up here?
Let's do it. So we got Human Foosball versus the XCOM Death Squad.
Yep.
What are your thoughts going into the match?
Well, the XCOM Death Squad is definitely on a tear, and they're going to try and run up the scoreboard on the Human Foosball team, and it's going to be a tough one for the humans. That is so hard for me to say, for the humans. For the human team to deal with. So I kind of feel like XCOM's got the edge in this one. What do you think?
I think that Human Foosball is kind of becoming a victim to their good level up rules, where their blitzers are just not effective right now.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you don't have tackle, you don't have a reliable way to bring down those blodgers. I have to go with the XCOM Death Squad.
Yep. Next up, this is going to be a match for the ages. The Alphabet Soars versus Behold the Kickman. What do you think about this one?
Alphabet Soars Alphabet Zorz has 2 levels compared to Behold the Kickman's 1. Obviously, I'm going to go with Scambammer. Yup.
Right.
He's twice as good.
I think this is the match that Behold the Kickman wanted game 1 of the season. Because then they probably would have played the rest of the season with a few more level ups. So, Doof, go out there, get your XP. So, next up, Game 3, Chaos Murder Party versus Shia Bad Witch. That's going to be a pretty interesting one. I actually need to take a peek. Does Chaos Murder Party have tackle? I think they do.
They have 1 tackle piece.
So the Chaos Murder Party does have a tackle piece, so they can deal with that witch and the blodger, but we've got Mass Agi 5 on the other side. That's such a weird game to call.
I'm going to call Elf bullshit for the win.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone really wants to see is Elf bullshit. So I'll go with you on that one. We're tipping to Shia Bad Witch for next week. And then finally, this is going to be a big game. Lords of Obey, Callisti Maya, taking on the Celebrats in a battle that has some playoff implications, I believe.
Yeah, so Celebrats, I'm pretty sure, are locked in, no matter what. Yeah, they're locked in. So Nilly Man, he's playing for playoffs. Callisti Maya, if he wants playoffs, he has to win.
He has to win and then needs the XCOM Death Squad to either draw or lose.
No, if he wins, he's going to get the wild card.
Oh, if he wins, he gets... Oh, there you go.
At the very worst.
Okay.
At the very worst, Callisti Maya is going to get the wild card if he wins.
So Callisti, you're playing 4 playoffs this week versus that top-rated Celebrats team. It's going to be a tough game. Who do you think's going to run away with it this is just a straight-up battle of the Skaven, isn't it? Yeah. Celebrats and Lords of... Yeah, Skaven versus Skaven. Which one's going to have the better gutter runner bullshit?
It's going to be tough. I'm just going to have to go with Nilly Man. I've been backing his horse the entire year, mainly because names like Gudacris.
Yeah, Celebrat's definitely one of the better named teams. I think I'm gonna have to try and root for Callisti here, just because I like the underdog storyline, and I'd like to see Callisti break into playoffs and show us what he's got there.
All right, and then wait, quick shout out. I just got a DM. Wol Han Shu. I don't know how to pronounce it directly, but this guy just barely joined WCW like 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
So,
welcome.
All right. So let's go to Nelson.
Taking a look at Nelson, going to the leaderboard. Tell us about Mustard Lust.
He's a dice hacker.
Dice hacking confirmed. Streamer dice running rampant. 511 for the Iron Master.
Yes.
Next up, we got... Go ahead.
Yeah, he's a dice hacker. He has some fast boy vamps. He is locked in for playoffs, and I'm pretty sure he won his division.
It is certainly looking that way. 511, he's already played his Week 7 games, so Archangel can still tie him.
He has to win by a lot for TD differential.
Got it. What about their head-to-head?
That's going to be Iron Master.
Okay. So, second place, we've got Archangel and the Children of the Void, the Elven Union team, 411. Third place, we've got Ratty Day, the Skaven, at 412. And then in fourth, we've got Just Lydon, or is it Lydon? Just Lydon?
I pronounce it Lydon.
Just Lydon, 322 with the Y-Front United, some Norse. And then we've got, I believe this is Matt E. Randall Clark?
Yeah, Matt E.
E. Randall Clark, the Wrong Beards, the Dwarfs at 313. Then Puke's Blue Blood at 213. And Saho, the Kislev Circus, again, mad props to anyone who comes in and plays Kislev early season 1. 114. And then Los Barachos rounds us out with the 006 record. His games have been incredibly close, though. I watched his game this week, and we'll talk about that here shortly. He's putting up a good showing and just not getting to convert onto the board.
Yeah. He is excited for Blood Bowl. I keep on saying this. I see him playing, even though it's not working out well. I hope that he improves a lot very, very soon.
Yeah.
All right.
So, interesting stat line. We're going to dive right in and talk about that game. Children of the Void versus Los Borrachos. Children of the Void pick up the 2-1 victory. I want you to take a look at something here. We had 4 armor breaks for the Children of the Void, 17 for Los Borrachos. But in the statistics, they had 3 injuries, 1 kill, 4 KO'd. The other side shows 2 injuries, 1 kill, but there were actually 3 injuries and a kill because one tripped and hurt himself. That said, all the KOs woke up, so these teams were essentially even the entire way through despite the blocks. And it was very it looks on the surface like it was a bashy game, but it really wasn't. It was really more of an elfy game that was pretty fun to watch. Going back to my notes, yeah. Essentially, Children of the Void were able to get a turnover in the first half and basically played a 2-1 grind game to a T. So it was a close game, but they managed to get that one turnover that secured the game for them. Yeah.
The one thing that I like about Los Borrachos is that they're doing a great job of maximizing blocks where they can.
Mm-hmm.
41 blocks, says Elves.
Yep.
What was the other one? It was just like something crazy, like 60 or something back earlier in the season.
Yep.
Like, that's just insane. Maybe he needs to play Bash Team.
Yeah.
But let's look at Ratty Day and Blue Blood, though.
Absolutely. So, Ratty Day, tell us about this one. We had the 2-1 victory for the Rats.
So it looks like we got a good MVP. Rats outblocked the Blue Bloods. There was more removals. I want to say there was some bullshit because I think that he has a natural one-turner, Ratty Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as in tune with it as you are because you did not send me your notes. I'm trying to copy off of you.
I did not. My notes weren't quite as good this week. There were several replays that I wasn't able to get a hold of. Just throwing some stuff out there. The one-turner actually did not come into play that game. So
okay.
It was really just kind of a straight-up 2-1 grind game that the Rats played a very passive game where they farmed passes back and forth, and
it's what they do.
Yeah. Whenever Blue Blood was on offense, the Rats put on extreme pressure and were able to force them to score early, and it gave them plenty of time to score their passive touchdown, go 1-1 at the half, and then stall for 8 turns and put it away 2-1.
Nice.
Yep. So, that said, Mustard Lust versus the Wrongbeards. Did you get to see any of this game?
I saw this game. I didn't see his most recent one. My game just crashed. I'll talk about it though. So Mustard Lust, what they did was they got offense first, and Randall Clark or Matt E played a really passive defense. Mm-hmm. Where he was trying to force a sideline play for the Vamps. Iron Master kept on trying to go back and forth, and then he just ended up losing too many players in the backfield due to like bloodlust and other things like that he had to eventually just settle for a potato play. Mm-hmm. And then Matt E, he just did his dwarf things and got the touchdown back.
Yeah, I think just to add a little bit to that, I think Matt E was trying to play his defense towards finding a good spot to wizard, and never found it. So ended up with an unused wizard, and we did have a highlight of the game for me was the fans did not like the 1-1 score and threw a rock at a dwarf lineman. Agi busted him.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Agi busted dwarf. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, yep. And then our last game, not much to talk about there. Usavic's Red Boys, they had some real life issues and were not able to play this game, but it was a good faith effort. So it was just a 2-1 loss rather than a forfeit, and not much else to say about that one. Let's look at next week. Or no, let's look at the teams first. My bad. Blue Blood.
Yeah, first. Because we completely forgot last week to look at the teams in Nelson.
So looking at the teams in Nelson this week, we're gonna do a better job.
We forgot to look at the previous week or something. We forgot something in Nelson last week.
Yep. So looking at Puke's team, this is still a really cool looking Brett team, but I don't think too much has changed since the last time we've looked at it. We still have the strength up blocker, who we're looking to get built with that kind of sacking package that we've seen on some of the other Brett blockers that get the strength up. And then we've got that Agi up Lancelot, who is just going to be a huge threat once he picks up a couple more skills to do some of that Agi BS. Any other thoughts on the Blue Blood?
He just needs more guard.
Always need more guard. Always need more guard. Let's take a look then at Children of the Void. Tell us about this squad of elves.
It's loading in, so I'm waiting for your stream to catch up.
He has Colossus, which is a strength up Blodgestepper, which is an amazing blitzer. He's got the doubles on his other blitzer for a Mighty Blow blitzer.
Oh, and yes, then, I remember that.
Blodge catcher, a kicker, and then not much else of a team. This is one of those, we've got 7 elves, and we just let our fodder go up on the line, which is perfectly fine for elves.
Yeah, he has basically everything that you really need to succeed as elves, especially pro elves. Mm-hmm. I would just like to see his thrower just get a little bit something extra to help out his offensive game.
Yep. This is one of the few elf teams where you really want to see the thrower get skilled up because you're looking to make some of those passing plays.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look then at Ratty Day. JJ Cash's rats with the movement 10 gutter, not quite a natural one-turner, just needs a little bit of a push. And then we do have the strength up gutter runner with the strength up wrestle that is going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. And this is a really good looking rat team. He's up to 14 men on the bench now. So you can't even play the attrition game with them because they just have so much fodder that you have to work through.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, I think... sorry, I'm sending a message at the same time. But that's pretty much the key to a good rat team, is if you have enough fodder that you can keep your positional safe throughout the game.
Yep.
I know that's why I get frustrated with Golgothan when I play him, is that he has too many damn line rats.
Well, then next up we've got Mustard Lust, the top of the development here with the 1450 vampires. We've got Factory Worker, who we still want to see some level ups on. Factory Worker is like the MVP of this team, and he's just not getting any SPP.
How dare you hate on Mustard Manufacturer? He's a fast boy with dodge.
He is a fast boy with dodge. We have another fast boy, and we've got a Mighty Blow tackle piece with no block. Like, the killer just going kill skills first.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to have to kill a blodger.
Let's go pile on. Let's go pile on before block. That's what I want to see. If you're out there, Iron Master, pile on before block.
He just needs to take some notes from my ogre team in the cripple ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. Always be piling on.
Yeah.
And it looks like we do have a level up on the Usavic's Red Boys. Looks like Oleg managed to pick up an MVP to get himself up a level, so we will have a lineman level up coming. So no other development on this team since last week, but we've got a healthy 11 pieces and enough money to pick up 12, so I that's what I'd like to see. Get a little bit of a bench. It really helps Kislev out to have some bench.
Yeah, get a bench. Probably take a block or wrestle on that lineman.
I like wrestle because, and I'll tell you why. This is a weird thought process, but if you take wrestle and then on that next level you get agi up, that's your sacker. That's where, because you actually don't want, you want your blitzers to be you want your blitzers to be taking block. So I want wrestle on my lineman for when I happen to get an agi up, and that's my sacker.
Yeah, but you just take it where you can get it. I like block as well, just because if you get guard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Next up, Y-Front United, Just Leiden's Norse team, and we've got a runner who is niggled. Poor runner. That's not what you want to see at all. Do you keep a niggled runner? I think you just fire a rookie niggled runner, don't you?
I think he's going to fire it because he's going to get the cash to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's going to get the cash to replace a berserker. Maybe you keep the runner so that way you can replace a berserker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But just slide on. He has a ton of tackle. He is ready to face those agility teams because Norse are pretty much a hard counter to a lot of agility teams.
Yep. And we have a lot of agility teams who are tearing it up in the WCW. So this is the kind of guy we need around. Yeah.
And Ironmaster, you did miss your team by like 3 seconds. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Next up, the Wrongbeards, Randall Clark / Matt E. This little band of dwarves with the agi busted Longbeard down here. They're developing along quite nicely. We've got block across the board as dwarves are wont. We've got the fast boy Beaufort, a movement 7 runner who can really scoot down the field, and we're seeing that mass guard come out. I think he can start to mix in Mighty Blow on some more of these Longbeards, because once you're at 4 guard, like now you just want more Mighty Blow, right?
Yeah, you just want that Mighty Blow spam a little bit so that way you can start to get removals, because as much as skills that you have a pretty narrow stat line as dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get those removals so that way the skills start taking over a little bit more.
Yep, absolutely. But and also with 150k in the bank, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a Longbeard bench come along.
Yeah, I would like to see at least one.
Yep. All right. Good bunch there. And finally, Los Barachos, Batblood's High Elf team.
Oh, please not be something permanent.
The thrower is, I think just MNG'd, and I think the other guy is as well. The Cosmic Hero. If I remember correct, right. These were both MNGs.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, did his other catcher die?
Must have. We've only got one catcher on the pitch. I think his death in the game was a catcher.
Oh my, feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Ark, how dare you? How dare you, Ark?
Ark did way more permanent damage than, I think all of the injuries for the other way were just badly hurts. Oh, and maybe a dead lineman or something like that, but yeah. All right.
All right. Let's next week. What do we got?
Look at week 7, which we've already had a couple of results here. Los Barachos is going up against Usavic's Red Boys, so we're going to see some elves versus some Kislev. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I want to see Los Barachos get 1-1. I think he can do it against Kislev.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the dice will be a little bit in his favor because of how unreliable they are.
Yeah, the Kislev does not have like the mass tackle to deal with Elven BS either, so I think the elves should be good in that matchup. So I'd like to see Batblood run home with that one. Then we have a couple of results that we'll ignore for now. So Mustard Lust, congratulations. Wrongbeards, congratulations. And Children of the Void versus Blue Blood. We've got Ark versus Puke Puke.
Ark versus Puke Puke.
Puke Puke. Excuse me, Puke Puke.
It's Archibald, sorry, versus Puke Puke.
Everyone keeps changing their name. Stop. Yeah, so...
I like Archibald over Puke Puke in this one, because I think Archibald will tilt Puke Puke by calling him Puke Puke.
Well, what I'd like to see is some tenacious play from Puke Puke and have him take it down with the Bretts. I'd like to see a win for the Bretts.
The Dice Angel.
All right. I think that wraps it up for Nelson. Let's jump over and take a look at your division, Dillinger.
Yeah.
Peeking at the leaderboard. Hey. Who's this on top?
Hey, guys.
What's up with that? That's not cool.
I came back from my 3 straight draws to win the final 3 games and finish on top of Dillinger. Thank you. Thank you.
Duberman right behind you there, 403. Can anyone catch you guys at this point?
I think Duberman is locked. I am locked. Duberman is locked. And then Angra. Angra, Goblin Marine, and Grazy. It's going to be very interesting if the Chorfs beat the Zons. Because I think they're playing as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that just has huge impacts if it's a 3-way tie.
Wow. So that's going to be very interesting. But top 3 and Dillinger make it. So right now, Angray is getting the nod if he takes it down. Is that correct? All he has to do is draw. Okay. All right. Just blasting through these real quick. Man Bear Horse, True Blue with 430. Duberman, the Sithral Wardens at 403, the Wood Elves. The Amazon One Die Palmy, Angray's team with 321 for the season so far. The Underworld Denizens of Maritime Marinated Meat, Goblin Marines bunch is at 322. All of these very good records for the season. Brett's, Gold Blood Knights, Grazy putting up the 322 as well. So that 3-way tie could get very interesting. We'll look at that here in a bit. And RK Blaze, the Chorfs, 1620 Chorfs, getting the 132 record for the season, followed by Chaos at the bottom of the ladder here for us. Chaos and Chaos. Riazi's Ravagers, 114, and then finally Trunkhead filling in for us, coming in and playing some games, getting a draw off of someone, 015 with the Halfling team.
Yeah, and quick thing, Iron Master, it's between you and Weiss. If Callisti Maya wins, he's going to get the wild card. All right. Let's take a look at what last week's action was.
Last week's action, we had Maritime Marinated Meat versus the Hellspawn Violators in a 1-1 draw game.
Yes.
This was a really interesting game. Did you get to see any of this one?
I got to see the last little bit of it, but so Goblin Marine, he stole and score on RK's offensive drive, and then he just got whittled down, and I believe it was a reroll on a greed block that turned into Dub Skull, and all of a sudden RK Blaze just had the 16 draw.
That was not it was not a greed block. He actually he spiked the ball trying to make the pass downfield. And then the Chorfs recovered, and he went in to sack, had a 2-die on the ball carrier to sack the ball carrier, and it was a push skull into Dub Skulls. And and then from there was a handoff, and a bull ran away with it to steal the 1-1 chai. So very close game, all the way up until the spiked pass. I thought the Maritime Marinated Meat were going to come home with it, but Hellspawn Violators capitalize on that failure and take it away. Get the 1-1 draw.
Yep. And then next up we have Riazi's Ravagers versus the Gold Blood Knights. Grazy, you're in chat. You want to say anything about the game or forever hold your peace?
76 blocks versus 33. That says something.
It just looks like Chaos are starting to bully some people.
Yeah, they just didn't get that many. They KO'd a bunch of guys, but they only injured one on 76 blocks. 1 injury.
Oh, wait, I remember this. This is when Grazy MNG'd the Ferdinand with no assist foul.
That's amazing.
I remember that now. Okay. You're telling me about that, Grazy.
All right.
All right.
And next up then is this is a game you should know something about. Man Bear Horse versus Sithral Wardens. Man Bear Horse taking home the 2-1.
Yeah. So, Sure Hands, turns out it's an amazing skill. And Wood Elves just won't go cage diving on you. And when they do, they're going to have to do red dice, and they can't just strip the ball away. And then they complain that all 2 of their attempts failed. So.
Well, hey.
I played really safe. I always made sure that it was a uphill dice if he decided to cage dive. So.
Yep. I did watch this game, and it looked to me like a pretty safe 2-1 grind style of game. And it worked out for you.
Yeah, I played as safe as I could. I was a little bit slow in the first half, but the 75% handoff worked. And then I just forced an early enough score, and then we came back and won. So it was good, man.
And broke a bunch of armor in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had Make Like a Tree and Leave, One Die Palmy getting the victory over the Flings.
So one dice roll in particular I want you to focus on. Go to One Die Palmy and look at their dodges.
One Die Palmy with 43% on their dodges. They could not dodge for anything. Wow.
Yes.
That's an impressive statistic when everyone on your team has dodge.
Yes. So even if it was a close game, I think that had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Surprisingly close game for Flings, but the Amazons do come out on top for that one.
Yes.
So let's take a peek at some teams. Maritime Marinated Meat. This team could not have changed at all, right? Nope. Still the same. Still the same BS thrower. The same amazing blitzer.
He got big hand on his Agility 4 Goblin.
All right. So he's taking the ball. I don't care where it lands. That guy. What does that guy need now? Just like 2 heads?
Sure Hands.
Sidestep? Sure Hands?
Yeah, well, he's already 2+ dodging.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Stunty. That's right. Okay, so he already gets in. So, Sure Hands or Leap? Do you go Leap?
I don't know.
Could go Long Legs, too. Leap Long Legs. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe extra arm for a potential interception chance.
Or just Sure Feet and Sprint, because this guy's going to be taking the ball and running away.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
We can come up with a lot of things.
You can build those things so many ways. Then we've got Man Bear Horse.
Hey, look at those levels I'm going to keep hitting until playoffs.
This is silly. I don't... So, Riazi's Ravagers.
We can talk about the one of them. I took Strip all over Mighty Blow on a Bull Centaur. I'm having him as a safety. All right.
Okay.
Riazi's Raptors.
All right. Ferdinand, this guy took a miss next game. Has been armor busted all season. I think he's only played half the games this season.
Oh, man.
Other than that, we've got all of our Chaos Warriors, and all of our Chaos Warriors have some SPP and some skills, so that's a good-looking set of guys. We've got the Mighty Blow, Claw Mighty Blow guy. We've got a Mighty Blow Dodger playing the long game with these dodge pieces.
Yeah, and just to let you know, I actually have to go right now. I did not think I would this early.
Okay.
So, Iron Master, I'm going to try to tap you in if you can.
If you can, jump in. If not, I will continue this thing solo. No problem. So.
All right. Well, I am sorry for that.
No problem. Take care, True Blue.
Have fun with it.
And I've been summoned.
Hey, there's Iron Master.
Just in the nick of time.
Look at that beautiful tag in. All right, we're just in time. We're going to talk about the Hellspawn Violators. RK's Chorf team, who I'm not sure is going to continue after this season, after some chatter that I've seen around. But have you caught up to the stream? Do you have this team up?
Right now I'm booting up Blood Bowl, but
Cool.
It's a fine looking team.
It is a good looking team,
but it's just not in order, so it's hard for me to notice what's here.
The toughest thing for me about it is he had a couple of blockers that rolled doubles right away. So they've been slow to pick up Mighty Blow because they picked up Claw. You have to. So still developing there, but other than that, it's a fine-looking Schwarf team. We've got some guard. The only thing that I'm seeing is the lack of Mighty Blow, and the only reason that's there is because he got too lucky on his rolls and got Claw.
Yeah, it's like you need a little bit of guard, and when he was finally taking it, didn't work out.
Yep.
That Hobgoblin, though. Agi 4 and block is nothing to sneeze at right there, because you put Sure Hands on it, and suddenly you basically got yourself a Pro Elf.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a really good-looking squad. I would like to see them carry on, but I understand if sometimes you just need something new to play.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a fan of Torps, so I want to see him switch to some Norse. And, enjoy that kind of game where things blow up on both sides. And it's a good time.
When things blow up big. All right. Now we're going to hop over to Grazy's Goldblood Knights. We've got a couple of pending levels here, but I still like the way this team looks every time I see it. We've got the Strength Up Strip Ball Blocker, which I think is a great way to build that guy out. And a couple of blockers with guard. And we've got a level up pending on the Mighty Blow block tackle blitzer. So excited to see what that guy gets.
I mean, I think he has a lot of interesting things to go for, because if it's a normal, I could very much just see dodge being put on there. Yep. It's never bad to put like dodge on your blitzer knights, because it's really quick, it's cheap, it's that 20k. You're not slowing down development since you already got your double and tackle, and like he's pretty much set.
Yeah, that piece is pretty much done. Yeah, if it is doubles,
or he could take pro.
If it's doubles, is it piling on, or what do you go with on a double?
I think I would take piling on, because you could take jump up right afterwards.
Yep.
Like, it's the movement 6-piece, but I mean, you can kind of play it like Berserkers get jump up very soon in that case.
Yep. But,
that blitzer spit in my face and rolled Agi.
What? That's amazing. Do you take the Agi? I think you do.
Yeah, I think so. Because if nothing else, it's like, you still just dodge on the 2+.
Yep.
That's something huge for a lot of teams.
That means he can go in, make that precision punch, and then get out. That's what that Agi says, and that's going to make him stay alive quite a bit longer.
Have to see what your next game is before making the choice. That's fair enough.
Yep.
I think I would take it, though.
All right. Cithril Wardens, Duberman Squad. We've got a couple of movement up pieces. A movement up catcher, a movement up war dancer with strip ball. Yeah, not much to say about this on my side. We've got the core that elves need. He has the guard lineman. I
was gonna say, this is like the efficient elf right here. Like, they're not over bloated on any one piece, and he has a lot of great pieces. Like that Raj lineman is gonna be one of those pieces that are just really annoying to deal with for a lot of teams, just because like you go to blitz them, and if you want a 9, you're obviously gonna be on the floor.
Yep.
And then just dealing with dodge on top of that, it gets to be tricky.
Yep.
And just having that one guard, you got that plus movement catcher, so you just need the one push. Then a Mighty Blow dancer and a strip ball dancer. You're never getting out of the way. But the plus movement, minus movement makes me want to sack him.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. That does make him a bit bloaty. If you could afford to replace him, I think you fire him, but without being able to replace him, I think you keep it around.
I don't think you replace them when you get the money. You replace them when the playoff run's done.
Yeah.
When you're finally ready to get rid of him, because he's just not going fast. So, it's not hard to get a new one. But at this point, you want the strip ball really bad. Yeah,
the strip ball is too important to the team at this point. All right. And then
solid.
Angray's one die Palmy. What do we got going on here? We've got a fast girl.
The Amazons.
And we have another Mighty Blow Agi up. Look at that.
Yeah, those are definitely pieces that you're really happy to have. It's just that movement up on Amazons is huge, just like it's vampires, just because you don't have anybody that's fast. So getting one person around places, movement 7's like that huge upgrade there. Great blitzer speed, and awesome there. And then Agi is just, you start bullshit.
Yep. One of the things that I always like to call out about the difference between movement 6 and movement 7, just to think of it in these terms, when you're movement 6, it takes a GFI to go from your line to the end zone of your opponent. When you're movement 7, over 2 turns. When you're movement 7, you don't need a GFI to get to the end zone in 2 turns. So,
and you get an extra square.
Yeah, and you have an extra square to play with. So that the difference between 6 and 7, while it may not seem like much, is actually just massive.
I'll give you another one too. It's just you put them in the middle, and they can reach each sideline. No GFIs too.
Yep.
Big deal there.
That is a huge deal. So just that picking up that movement 7 piece saves you a lot of dice rolls. Mm-hmm. So good looking squad. And then finally, let's take a look at these flings that Trunkhead was nice enough to come in and play. He has a sprint fling, and that's it. Everything else, this is just flings.
I'm just happy that Trunkhead came in and just did a service for everybody.
Yeah.
It's really nice of him.
Yep.
Because I know he was saying this isn't the best time zone for him since most people are East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing the best with it, and you know what? Seemed like he had some fun.
Yeah, I hope so, and I appreciate the just having games instead of having to award admins whenever we have a missing slot for the player. So yeah, that's much appreciated, and hopefully those games were fun. And I think that means on Dillinger we take a look at Week 7, part of which is already played. Maritime Marinated Meat has already played their game versus Manned Bear Horse. We've got Make Like a Tree and Leave versus Riazi's Ravagers coming up. That is the Halfling squad going against that Chaos bunch. What are your thoughts on that?
They're down their minnow, if I remember.
Yeah, they are down their minnow.
I think this is where the Flings can do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to punch from Chaos. The Chaos are going to punch them back. They're going to lose like 3 flings. But they're going to pull off some stunt DBS, and it's going to be like... I'm going to call 0-0 draw. I'm not going to say the Flings are going to touchdown.
No,
but they're going to stop the Chaos from it.
Definitely at least a 1-1, because we're going to see a 1-turn fling for sure. All right. Then we've got One Die Palmy versus the Hellspawn Violators, which I believe is actually happening right now. Amazons versus Chorfs. That's not the matchup that the Amazons are looking forward to.
Yeah, Amazons can definitely do something in that matchup, but tackle access everywhere. It's not hard to catch up and put it on movement 6 when you're movement 4, and they're trying to get around you.
One nice thing, though, is not a lot of Mighty Blow for the Hellspawn Violators with all of the Claw that they took. So Claw just being bloat in that matchup.
Yeah, that could honestly be the difference right there. Because they don't have a ton of guard either, just because they got the Claw. They don't have the Mighty Blow with it.
He's actually picked up a few guard pieces, so I think he's up to 4 guard now, but just lacking in Mighty Blow.
Yeah, but that's the same as the Zons.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not going to be killing with it, you're going to have a tough time.
Yep.
So I think I would give that to the Amazons here.
Yep.
On the sheer credit of there's not enough removal power with your might or with the guard, so Amazons can actually fight back. Even though I hate Amazons very much so.
I respect anyone who plays Amazons in the Eternal format, because going up against teams that have tackle access, the Amazons fall off a bit in power. So respect to going Amazons in the long format, not the one-day tournament.
Yep. They just... they beat me up so many times, and I'm just not happy with them.
Fair enough. All right, and then the Sithral Wardens and Goldblood Knights have already played. We'll talk about that in next week's recap. So I think that wraps it up for Dillinger. Let's take a look at Capone. Over at the leaderboard here, tell us about that first place team.
That first place team is Valkyrie up there with the firstborn of Ardia. If I remember correctly, he was like, man, I don't think I'm going to do so well this season. It's not looking too great. And then 4-1-1.
Yeah.
It speaks for itself.
We obviously promoted him to Capone too soon. He was not ready for Capone, so he's taking first place. In second place, another elf team of the Elven Union variety, S Hunter with the Aerial Assault WCW, going 3-3-0. Heck of a coach there. doing what he does.
Good undefeated record.
Undefeated record, absolutely. And then next up, tell us about this guy.
Golgothan. Scourge Assault Fire. I believe he's the 3-time back-to-back winner of WCW.
That's it. 3-time.
Yep. 3-1-2 though. Under the other two.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. And I heard his usual is a 1 loss in the whole season. We're doubling it up this season. And I believe there's 3 playoff spots in here, so not like he's losing the playoff spot if I remember right.
There are actually 4 in Capone. Half of Capone fully goes to the playoffs.
Ooh.
So
he's going for the 4-time.
These guys down here, the Lizard Men, are making their push. Skinky and We Know It. 3-2-1. Looking to steal that 4th spot down there. But we've got some interesting playoff talk that we'll do in here in a little bit. But you
Pretty
can
sure
tell
that
us,
means if Bobophobic or Lockrest take a W, they go right over you.
that would be the case. But none of us play each other. And yeah, so it's actually really interesting there. So yeah, Boba and Lockrest and myself all have our games to be played. And right now, if I win my game, then I lock down. If I win, I'm in. If I do not win, then we can get into a 3-way draw, potentially, depending on what happens with their games. If I draw my game, and they, even if they win theirs, we're on the same number of points.
Yeah, so it's just...
It can get really
It's a
icky.
big cluster.
Yeah.
I hope you got your TD differential up.
So, funny enough, my TD differential is terrible this season. So,
Oh, no.
all right.
That would be a shame right there. So you better win.
Yep. Then we've so next up we've got Boba with his bounty hunters. Boba's bounty hunters 2-1-3 on the season, and in the hunt for a playoff spot, need the W to force me to get a W as well. Then next up,
Team Happy Orcs right behind. Same conditions apply.
yep,
And it's just that's gonna be like the fight for scrounging that last playoff spot. Like, who can just sneak it in there?
yep. Next up, Squints with Who Wants a Woody? 042. I think Squints may actually have a case for what Valk said. He did come into the season with a very low team value Wood Elf team, and I think he's gotten beat up a little bit here in the high team value Capone division. But props to him for hanging in there and pulling down 4 draws. This is a highly competitive division. So those
And
W's
one of
are
the
few
things
and far
with
in
Woodies
between.
is just once tackle comes into play, they're very prone to blowing. Just
Yeah,
they're a great team on paper, and then if they are paper, they get crumpled, right?
that's it.
So,
That is it.
Pulling the 4 draws and 2 losses always isn't that bad. Like, if you're holding on, especially when you're like at the 3 elves and trying to win it, that's a story right there.
Yep.
But if you have like, this wasn't the super killy division, I think you could be getting like a couple more W's in there just because he's not getting fully removed.
Yep. Made it into Capone this season off of, I believe, a finals appearance last season. So definitely deserves his spot in the Capone division.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or it might have been semifinals, but still, it was a deep run in the playoffs last season. And finally, Crychair with Orc Me Harder with the 024 record. Great bunch of orcs. Sad to see him there, but he's played a great season. And with that, let's take a look at the games from Week 6. We had Who Wants a Woody versus Firstborn of Arda. Firstborn take the 2-1 grind down. What were my... Yeah, I don't think there was too much to say about that game. There was a lot of bashing, and how do we
I was
end
gonna
up?
say they're 29 to 25 blocks, but 5 removals one side and 4 the other side just in punching is quite sizable, and that's not even counting like the 2 casualties from Tripster getting fouled.
Yep. And I do believe that some of those were from getting fouled. The Wood Elves were were going at it hard against the Firstborn and trying to take them out, but Firstborn hung in there and managed to grind it down 2-1.
Yep. Other interesting note: there was 8 passes in that game. 3 for the Who Wants a Woody and 5 for Firstborn Marty. I don't know what's going on there, but that's a lot of passes.
Hey, getting that SPP. Everyone's watched JJ Cash all season, and they went in on that Vanity Pass SPP. Shocker here for me. Team Happy Orcs took the 2-1 over the Scourge of Saltspire, handing Golgothan his second loss for the season. And I think you can really see
this is you can see this one is a lot of the removal game coming in here.
Yeah, 44 blocks, 10 removals with 1 kill inflicted.
Just perfect orc game here.
The kill was on Glart Smash Rip, so no actual damage to the team.
Man, you just had to ruin it for me, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, Orcs doing their thing. Lockrest showing he wants to hang in there and fight me for that 4th playoff spot. So props to Team Happy Orcs for taking a win off the champ.
Yep. It just looks like quite the game there where Ratsplosion happened.
Yep.
And I can't say I'm mad.
All right. And then we had a fun game. Boba's Bounty Hunters versus Skinky and We Know It in the 2-3 victory. A score line that I don't think anyone but me would have predicted.
This is just quite different. First of all, Chaos getting 2 touchdowns, not in a 2-1 scenario, is crazy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Then just a 2-3 to end it with here. That's just something you don't normally see.
So
especially with 14 blocks.
Yeah, only 14 blocks from Lizards. That doesn't sound right at all, right? But I can tell you what happened here is Boba punched us a lot with 8 KOs and 5 injuries and a kill. The kill on a rookie skink, so nothing big there. We got beat up this game, but I came in knowing that was going to be the case, and what I did was first half I went for just steal the ball and score. He received first and immediately started removing guys. So I went for an early steal. Actually didn't get it, and I think he managed to score, but then we went for the one-turner, and we one-turned on our receiving half. And then we stole and scored and stole and scored. That was just the plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
14 blocks, and you're stealing and scoring and stealing and scoring.
Yep. Those 14 blocks were just sacks on the ball and then run away with Agi 5. That was the plan.
Now, was this Papa Skink just busting into cages?
Oh, no. Papa Skink did nothing at all this game. It was all about... I can say this. Boba was playing to kill my team, and I understand that 100%. He wanted to go for the pitch clear. That left me some shots on the ball where I was able to just take my break tacklesaurus and run around and get a shot on the ball. And once the ball's on the ground and you've got an Agi 5 skink...
you just pick it up and go.
He just goes. Mm-hmm. So that was the game in a nutshell.
Sounds insane, and I can appreciate it.
And then finally we had Orc Me Heart. Oh, I will say this one last thing about the Boba's Bounty Hunters game. No, other than the kill on the skink, no permanent damage done to my team. So we are fully healthy for week 7.
I'm pretty sure you just made Boba sad with that. He was like, oh yeah, I was going to go and kill everything, and then, oh yeah, whatever.
Yep. That's his plan was to take the lizards down a peg, and while he got a lot of SPP that game, what was the total on that? Now I'm curious.
It was a lot. And some was on Borak.
Yeah. 22 SPP, but 4 stolen by Lord Borak. So really 18 SPP, not bad. You can see here, Goofy Skink Jr. is my Agi 5 skink, picking up all 3 touchdowns, 9 SPP.
Yeah, he just seemed like a hero there.
Yep. He was the hero I needed, not the one I deserved, or is that the other way around?
I'm pretty sure you got it right.
Yep. All right. And
Work Me Harder versus Area Assault WCW here.
Yep.
Going with a 2-1 to the Area Assault, which is awesome because I love me some pros, but Work Me Harder's just been, getting a little bit danced on here.
Yep, they did.
But they got the kills.
They did get a kill and some injuries. I have not looked to see what those are yet, but they did do some damage to Aerial Assault.
Area Assault must have killed one of their guys on the grass, though. For, says they only inflicted 1 death.
Did they have 2?
Yep, they have 2 deaths. Orcs got 1 of them.
Oh, wow. All right, then. Someone tripped and died. That is unfortunate. Well,
Florida will be feasting tonight.
That said, let's take a look at the teams, and we'll get to Aerial Assault in a second and see who's still alive over there. Starting off with the Scourge of Saltspire. I think we're all pretty familiar with this bunch of rats at this point. Obsire the Lethal hanging in there, the killer of killers, who is AV busted and movement busted, doesn't care, still does his job.
Just disgusting.
I've heard he is, if he's able to pick up Claw on Skyer the Lethal, that the movement busted, AV busted killer may finally get put out to pasture.
I mean, I just don't think he could do that. He's been doing his job, taking bust, and still busting other people's asses out there.
Yep.
You gotta keep him.
Yep. Yeah. I'd like to see this guy hit legend status and get retired the Iron Price way.
I can quite agree with that.
Yep.
But it's a solid team around here, and Grice Creep is one of those pieces you just don't want around anything. Just when there's a ball down there, he scoots in, takes it away. You got great Sacker.
Yeah.
You guard 2 heads and oblige. It's just
the guard
it's
2 heads.
Efficient and good on the gutters.
The guard 2 heads is new, so I believe this was a guard piece before, and then he rolled 2 heads. So this is a team with, between these 3 gutters, they can just take the ball away from you at will and then run away.
Yeah. There's one thing that I think I would have considered just for a little bit of fun here. You take a little bit of foul appearance on your gutter runner. Instead of 2 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have that extra chance just to be like, hey, use your reroll.
Right.
And it's just one of those different picks you could. But 2 heads is always better.
Yeah,
fun.
2 heads actually gets you into the cage, but yep, good stuff there. Skinky and We Know It next up. I don't think there's much to say here. This team has not changed at all. We've got
it started at 2K. Now it's at like 1990.
Well, just because of a Miss Next game on Crazy Skink Jr. here. That's the only thing that has us dipped below. As soon as he's back, we're at 2070. So, Yep.
And it's just, you haven't had anyone die yet, so it's been smooth sailing for you, it seems.
Yep. Have not been able to get any XP on these guys that are just inches from leveling. But can't complain too much. They're still alive.
I'm pretty sure it's because of Turbo Skink and Goofy Skink Juniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to touch down on anything else because they're so easy to just pick up with. Run away. Score.
Yep.
And the Source already have their skills, so it's like, what's one more?
Hey, I'm just looking for a random Kaz or an MVP to land on one of those guys. That's all I'm saying. But
you just gotta fire the rest of the skinks, man. Don't run a bench.
Gotta have that bench. All right, looking at Aerial Assault. Looking to see what died here, and it had to have been not important pieces because all the important pieces are looking alive and well to me.
Could have been loners if you had them.
I think this Agi 5 lineman is new as well. I don't remember seeing that in the past.
Yeah, he just picked up the MVP this game. And, you just get Agi on him.
Yeah.
Hurt them great. 2 linemen.
So. I would like to see that guy get built as another sacker for my money. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Just, you put on some wrestle, you take some leap, and then you take some, trip ball.
Yep.
Or tackle, depending on you.
Yep.
That guy's solid. And it's at a great spot for Agi 5, too. It's not before, every other skill, you actually have dodge to synergize with it.
Yep.
Now, you could also just make him a thrower at this point.
That would be another
play him in
good
the
shot.
backfield,
Mm-hmm.
pick it up. You got that 6 square pass of a 2+. It just doesn't have a reroll with.
Right. Hey, a G5 thrower is no joke. They can move that ball down the field pretty easy and pick up. I guess they do need doubles to pick up any of the passing skills other than... No, they need doubles for any of it, strong arm included.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But, nope, this is still got the core it needs to do everything it wants to. Has a couple of, I believe these are just MNG'd linemen, so they will be back later. In the meantime...
And he gets the bench for them, so that's pretty awesome.
Yep. So, not bad. Next up...
No, this is a pro team.
Orc Me Harder, 1570 Orcs. Crychairs bunch. Mass Block. What happened to this? We have a niggled Blitzer. That poor Blitzer. I think that Blitzer's been niggled all season and just no one has put him out of his misery.
It's kind of like fine until claw, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not too big of a deal. He has guard, and when it's your 2 only guard,
mm-hmm.
you kind of don't give that up.
Yep.
I think one of the big things that's messing up this Orc team is just his lack of it.
Yep.
Where he's just developing these blitzers and, they're going in some zany ways. Not that it's a bad thing, but your ag tackle, strip ball guy's great, but then you're still missing out on that little bit of guard in between.
Yep. Really need Gramost here to level up, or even better, for some of these Black Orcs to pick up some levels and get some of that guard in there on the Black Orcs. Because there's nothing better than just being able to wedge in a Black Orc and say, here, deal with this guy.
Yeah, it's remarkably well spread SPP.
Mm-hmm.
But he just needs to focus it that little bit, just to laser beam some skills on people.
Yep. But that is an excellent bunch of orcs. Next up, Scary Team, Boba's Bounty Hunters, who picked up a ton of SPP. Boba Fett III has a pending level, which we do not know what it is. I don't know if Boba's around in chat, but if you're here, let us know.
I'm pretty sure Boba Fett's going to be like that Mighty Blow guy who he makes straight killer. That's just how it works.
Yep. We do have a funny story from our game. This Miss Next game, Chaos Warrior. He was a one-die pal that got Miss Next gamed, so that's always the worst, right?
No, you see, it's the worst when it's like your big guy, or just like your really developed Chaos Warrior,
mm-hmm.
or if someone had some defensive skill like plus AV or thick skull. You're like, oh yeah, they're great at taking block. One die pow mix next game. Damn it.
Right. Yeah, but this Chaos team has 2 Claw Mighty Blow, one of them with piling on. So they've got 2 good killers. And they're just cruising their way in. All the Chaos Warriors have blocks, so they're looking great. We've picked up a couple of guard pieces. The only things that this team is missing is a little bit of tackle and a little bit more guard, and they're good to go.
Yeah, tackle spam is just going to take him that way he really needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see Killaroo taking tackle, Bossek taking tackle, Django taking tackle.
Yep.
And then you just, you finish out with other skills like some to get the piling on afterwards, others get claw, and then you're really balancing your kill. It's a really good team.
Controversial opinion here. What really needs to happen is Space Dandy needs to go. He's soaking up too much of the SPP.
Space Dandy? No, he's got to stay.
Yeah. Well,
because he's pricey and all, but I mean, Claw Guard, Tentacle Stand Firm are all great picks on a big.
Yep,
they're all great on. And with Wild Animal, he's never losing his tackle zone. So
yep,
it's
Tentacle always stays in effect. Yeah, it is a strong piece. He's someone that you have to deal with whenever he gets wedged in there. But yeah. All right.
Plus, he's got no perms. It's a clean guy.
He is. It's a healthy cow. Then we've got Who Wants a Woody? Squints' bunch of wood elves who started this season with started last season with 4 players on this team. and has slowly rebuilt up to the squad that you see before you here, up to 10 guys. So we're only dealing with one loaner at this point, 110K in the bank. Could theoretically go ahead and buy that catcher or lineman or whatever the piece is now. Although I think you sit on it because you can't afford a bench, so you might as well sit on that cash in case you take a perm on something that you need to replace.
Yeah, you wait for that 140K, so you pop 2 in, so you get that bench, and it's a really nice looking wood elk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's solid.
Has everything you want. Has an agi up on the strip ball tackle piece, War Dancer. Has a guard on the tree and has a Mighty Blow War Dancer with tackle and sidestep. Yeah, it's got everything you want to see here.
Yep. Even just accurate throwers are great here. Because just movement 7, you do that sick squares a pass, and it's just, you send it off. It's just such a great tool there that I really appreciate. Like, I'm starting to understand why every elf team is like, hey, I'm taking accurate before, like, sure hands or anything, or survival skills, just because you play them deep.
You play them deep, you laser that ball down the field, and make it impossible to defend.
Exactly.
All right. Now we have a team that is attempting to catch up to the Lizards. Lockrest with the Team Happy Orcs. 1740. This is starting to be a scary looking orc team, in my opinion.
I would say it's hit its scary point right now. Like, it's got some great players in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he went with the guard first approach to Black Orcs. I personally do the block one, but it gets your results quick when you're like just trying to bash and you want to level up blitzer. It's so good just to win that bash warp really quickly with him.
Yep.
And he's got his palm tackle jump up guy who's gonna be running around. Who cares about the niggle?
Yep.
And
then another Palmer with
guy.
tackle too.
Yep. So there's 4 tackle on this team, and I really love some tackle spam, especially on your fast pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great bunch of orcs. The only thing, like you mentioned, if we had some block on some of those black orcs just to make them a little harder to push over, then they'd be rocking it. But yeah, these blitzers are already a nightmare to deal with. So very strong orc team. We can see why he was able to grind down those Skaven last week. Finally, we've got the firstborn of Arda, Valkji's group of elves, with the High Vamps, who are still alive despite one taking a niggle.
Yeah, the niggle just means plot armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's immune to all further injury. It's always KOs because of the niggle, but never like anything that bad.
That sounds about right. I'll tell you the piece that I'm scared of. Finwin, King of the Noldor. The tackle mighty blow skink hunter is that's what I see whenever I see that guy. He's a skink hunter.
For sure. And you could just take sidestep from this point. You could take some, like, if it's a doubles, you can obviously take your pile on. He could take, like, Juggernaut if he doesn't want to do that. He could take Pro right now. He's got a lot of choices he can be going with that are all solid.
Yep. And really just, this team had a bunch of stat ups. It's lost a couple of them, I think, but still has the 2 strength 4 pieces, so he's able to hang in there with some of the bashier teams and make it really difficult on his elfy peers to break through those strength 4 guys.
And then just the Spirit of Fire guy. That's just so solid with Raj, your agility, your leap. Mm-hmm. He's going everywhere.
Yep, going everywhere, doing
just
everything.
Respect that.
Do you go strip ball or tackle next on that guy? I like strip ball myself.
I stay strip ball.
High TV, there's a lot of sure hands floating around out there, so I think there is an argument for not strip ball, but
there is. But, like, if you're ever in a playoff scenario, you could be getting some of the lower teams, too.
This is true.
And you'd be wishing you had strip ball. But, there's no right answer in there.
Yep.
There's just the one that you make, and you regret it when you don't have it, and you thank it when you do have it.
Yep. All right.
Because it's a solid skill, especially when you get that sure hands piece out. Then you're like, oh yeah, strip ball all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because you have sure hands on the team doesn't mean that's the guy that's going to have the ball. Because, in Blood Bowl, you play to the situation, so.
Yeah, especially, like, you have the Wizard. Like, you could just zap the guy that gets the ball initially. He could be stunned or cast or someone.
Mm-hmm.
And you play the rest of that match with him. And it's so lean and mean. That's something to point out here.
Absolutely.
It is not bloated up to where, High Elves are their best, but he's still got, like, inducement options that really kick ass.
Yeah, absolutely. Did High Elves get Eldril?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's only 200k, too.
Yeah, cheap, and he has that hypnotic gaze that can just absolutely wreck people.
Yep. As someone who loves to use hypnotic gaze, pretty good when it works.
It is a great skill when it works, but and with only a 3+ needed, it works quite a bit. All right, so let's take a look at next week's matches. We've got Who Wants a Woody versus Scourge of Saltspire. What are your picks for this match?
My pick for that match, I want to go with Who Wants a Woody.
Yeah, I actually started saying, you know what? Maybe I should pick this match because you're going to need to pick the next one. I would like to see Who Wants a Woody win this one as well. Scourge is already locked in, I believe. The top 3 from the leaderboard are already locked into their places, so I can see Scourge of Saltspire playing for team preservation going into the playoffs rather than playing for the win. And Who Wants a Woody could just run rampant and take down
he's got
a big
his full
score.
healthy team in, and I don't think I saw Sure Hands on the team. Or no, there was one on Recovery Rat, wasn't there?
Yeah, Recovery Rat has everything.
But then, Who Wants a Woody is also not as expensive as the Skaven team, so this is where I would say you scum that with. Just scum. Straight up, you're like, you know what? I got the cash, and it's only going to be like 70k. You blow it straight on it, and you have a fun time.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that. All right. Next up, I'm going to have to let you talk to this match because I think it would be unfair for me to speak of it. Firstborn of Arda versus Skinky, and we know it. Firstborn of Arda getting millions and millions and millions of inducements. What do you think?
Well, since he has millions and millions and millions, he's getting the Wizard. He's getting more on Arian. And
let's see.
He's gonna have a fun time playing. It's a good time. Murnarian's like 240, and Wizard's 150, so he could probably even get like a Babe on top of that.
Yeah, he's getting like 420, I think, maybe. Quick math, I may have that wrong.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have the tools for you because Murnarian is great against Lizardmen since he's strength 4. He has Dauntless, he has Block, he has Wrestle, he has Tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a high elf blitzer. It's a very solid piece.
Yep. Going to be a tough match for sure. Firstborn have had a great season so far. They're a tough team to beat, so we'll see what
Val's
we can do.
Already knowing I'm on his trail.
We already knew what you were doing, Val. It's not a surprise to anyone. All right. Next up, Team Happy Orcs versus WCW Aerial Assaults. Team Happy Orcs just gave a hell of a matchup to the Scourge of Saltspire. I think they could do it again versus Aerial Assault. That team we see has the has all the tackle, has all the palmers, has all the orky things it needs to do to orc it up. I think they can do that.
Yeah, it's really solid, honestly, for both teams here, and especially with Aerial's. They're down at catcher.
Yep.
I think that could be the tipping point for me right here. Like, he's got his blitzers in, he's got like great linemen, but still, just being down one catcher means he's going to be significantly slower and way easier for those orcs to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to give it to Team Happy Orc, even though I love Pro Elves.
Yep. And again, this is another case of, I believe Aerial Assault is locked up in their place, so they do not need the win this week. So, again, could play for team preservation a little bit more. finally, Boba's Bounty Hunters versus Orc Me Harder. Boba needs the win, and I'm sure he's going to be pressing for it. And he's got that claw to deal with those orcs. What do you think? Who's going to come out on top?
I would love to see. This is the orc game for Orc Me Harder, but this is what Chaos was meant for here.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey guys, let's put mutations on this team, and let's kill orcs off because they're going to be so good later on. And now Chaos are here to do just that feat. Yep. Orc Me Harder has a chance, but it's just he doesn't have enough guard to, I feel, force the matchup in his favor. Like, he's got solid players elsewhere, but he took some slower skills, and like he took a diving tackle guy and a blodge black orc, and I feel like this was the time to just keep to your guns and take your normals, get guard, get block, keep it going.
Yep, absolutely. That said, I think I will be tipping it to Boba this week. The claw in the what Chaos is meant to do. This is the matchup they want to be in. So
exactly.
My pick's making it tough on myself. So we'll see if we have the 3-way tie scenario. All right.
Should be a fun time.
Should be great. Any closing thoughts on the recap?
No, I'm just glad I got tagged in for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you stopping by, and really do appreciate you coming in, filling in for True when he had to step out there. Makes the content that much better. And next week is the last week. We're going into playoffs. So everyone stay tuned for that. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.